Right, as promised, we are here, and I, for one, have been looking forward to this conversation for quite some time. Welcome back from that break. My name is Ranger Stella. I'm here with Dr. Kavanda. My brother, Mattia, is here. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you. Good to
Thank you.
have you. This conversation is one that we started when we were talking about the journey to
100
100
years.
years. Just to remind you that Dr. Kawanda works with Spirit Surgeon Wellness. He's into orthopedics. He's also a lifestyle advance as a healthy coach. Again, he's all for the journey to 100. And today we are going to be talking about something quite interesting, which is food supplements. What are food supplements?
Thank you so much,
You're
and I
welcome.
like the way you welcome me, calling me your brother. One
Hey,
friend of
Dr.
mine
Kawa.
told me, there's that beautiful sister of yours. She's always telling you your brother. I said, she really your sister.
Yay,
Yeah,
Kama,
she's my
20 ago,
sister.
my brother.
So we are going to handle a very important topic that I've been working on for the past 5 years. I think when I just moved out of campus, the first person that employed me in a supplement shop.
Okay.
So I didn't know about what these supplements were, as many medical officers and do have negativity about it, and they don't want to get involved. Actually, when I just graduated, when someone comes to me and tells me they're using food supplements, I'll feel it's an abuse, because in medicine there is no science where they teach you about food supplements.
Okay.
Although they will teach you pharmacognosy, then they will teach you how these medicines are made from plants, but I will not go in to teach you these other things about supplementations. But I think to be something very good in the near future, to add a course for people to go to school to study supplements.
Yes.
Because now what we are using, we are treating people as researchers, discussing with people what we have seen as we give supplements to people and how people have reacted to the supplements. But there is no specific study that these people do this and this.
Okay.
But I went and studied Chinese medicine for around a year. I went online and studied Chinese medicine because I was worrying and asking myself, Chinese live life a certain way, which is more organic and of supplementations than we do. And realize a Chinese of 90 years will be very strong than an African old man of even 70 years. So you may think Chinese may be weak people, but because of their mode of life and their supplementation, things are different. When you visit a Chinese friend, and they give you a cup of tea. They have those small teas they use. Those are detoxifiers, and they keep drinking them all and on.
Right.
They take them detoxifiers. Even when you go to a Chinese hotel, they usually give, and we omit. We don't want to take them because they are not sweet. But once you go to a Chinese hotel, there are those those are detoxifiers, which are very, very important in the body. And the reason why they first give you a detoxifier, for it first detoxify your body, prepare your gut to receive meals, prepare your digestive system to be able to assimilate the meals that you're going to take in. So it is very important, actually. But they will not force you to take this detoxifier. They will give it to you in those small things of theirs, but many people don't take them. So when we talk about supplementation, it's $1 billion business. And in the West, people have known that people live on supplements every particular day.
And that is why I have an issue with it. But I don't want to start complaining yet until you tell us what it is all about.
Yeah, so in the West, people are using supplements every single day. And when you go in the UK, you find more supplement shops than actually pharmacies that we have here. People depend more on supplements than we people here that depending on these pharmaceuticals. Things have changed and life has changed. There are statements I don't want to make which may cost me. But when you look at the treatment using pharmaceuticals, I think it has failed, and we have a lot of resistance in using the pharmaceuticals. And because the pharmaceuticals have failed, that's why you find people are living with ulcers today, yet ulcers can be totally completed. But people live with ulcers today because the pharmaceuticals have failed them.
There is a conversation we had right before you came in with my colleague Ronald. You do not want to hear the theory that Ronald told us about that medication that people take
For ulcers.
Yeah.
What did Ronald say?
Apparently. No. I do not want to repeat it.
So, medications have failed people, and people have learned that medication have failed them. right from diabetes. I was seeing a certain research in China that the rate at which people have diabetes in China is very low because there is a way people have learned to limit the glucose intake to what the body uses. So there is no need for the antidiabetics with them. And they have learned how they are going to live with their hypertension without taking hypertensives every single day, by just living organic. So you realize that the world of medicine has become very, very diverse, and in the future you realize that people are going to run away from pharmaceuticals, which I've already seen right now, that someone comes here and tells you, doctor, I've tried all pharmaceuticals but I have failed to be treated. Now I want you to get for me organic combinations, and I want to tell you this, Stella, the organic combinations are very expensive than the pharmaceuticals because they are safe, but this is the medicine where we came from. Now, that should be another discussion of another time. How comes that these supplements are now more expensive than the pharmaceuticals, and it is going to be very hard to access them even in the future? Even the simple chigaji people know, which may be good to help treat someone. Even the simple medicine we know in the future, they're going to become very expensive because that's where the business is going, and they are going to be monopolized.
But now, I've always believed that supplements, food supplements, are part of big pharma, that they come from. It is really the same supply. It's like someone who gives you this or that, but they're the same. It's up to you. It's your pocket that chooses what you get to consume, but it is the same person.
Now, depending on technology, we have supplements. Like, for example, I have supplements that I ship from the US, supplements that come from the UK. Then we have supplements that come from China, supplements that come from Hong Kong. Now, this is what happens. We have not yet, in Africa, we have not had time to study the plants we have and what we can get from the plants we have. Now, what happens? The people in the Asia, China, USA, UK, Hong Kong, which is the biggest producer, they have taken time to study their plant material and develop technology to extract exactly what is needed in a particular plant. For example, if you see alveoli, they will not give you the entire sum of alveoli because there are things you don't need in alveoli. So what happens is they will go and process it in their factories to extract exactly what you need.
Exactly what you need.
Even when it is alveoli, and you find that it has different compounds in it that are important, you find that someone who needs a skin help has a different extract from the alveoli that they need. If someone wants to do with their immune system, there is a different extract from the alveoli that they need. So they have developed a technology to go examine the alveoli, extract every compound they need from the alveoli to make different products. Now it makes it very, very expensive because they have used their technology advanced to create this. Then secondly, our chigaji may not be consumed the way it is because it may have other factors which may need to be looked at in absorption. For example, they may need another compound to add on the alveoli to make it more absorbable in the body than just taking the raw alveoli.
And I think that's what I wanted to ask you. That isn't food enough? Why can't we just eat food like how our grandparents used to do it? Just eat the greens that we need to. Why don't we, instead of getting the food supplements, why don't we just get an outline? We go to a doctor and says, you know what, eat more of ABCD as opposed to.
I'm going to answer it differently because there are different reasons that are bringing to this. One, we have developed GMOs.
Yes.
And these GMOs are not providing although they grow very fast, but due to the speed they grow, they're not willing to take in the nutrients the plant would have taken in if it took the 6 months of growth, then now it takes 3 months. It cannot compound the very nutrients you need from the soil.
Right.
So what means you're going to be getting less of nutrients from this plant due to the period of time that they have been modernized. So you're just eating a carrot, but if they give you a local carrot in the village that people have maintained and the carrot that comes from somewhere else, you'll see this carrot is big, but even the taste will be different. Even if you make juice from these carrots, also realize there is a difference between those two carrots.
Yes.
So the GMOs have led into a lot of differences in nutrients value that a human body needs. What we are looking at, let it grow very fast and we eat it, but what we are receiving is not enough. So what the plants now are giving, the matoke, the potassium to be giving you, is not in a proportion that you will need. Or if you are to take the very proportion, you will need to eat an entire bunch of matoke to receive that component, which is impossible. You're not going to eat all that capacity of a bunch of matoke to receive that very combination. So now the white people have known that for them to receive one bunch of matoke could provide to you, they can take all these matokes in the factories, then they are going to compress them into one tablet or a capsule, which will give you equivalent of an entire bunch. Is a supplement I have for calcium, and just one capsule of that calcium is equivalent to eggshells you collect from 4 trays of eggs.
No way.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I've always told people, if you can't afford these calcium supplements on market, get eggshells, crush them, then you're going to eat. Get a scoop, get a spoon, and add in your food and eat, because the source of calcium, especially for people above 40 years that have gone to menopause, the women, and they can't afford these supplements in the village. Get the eggshells, crush them, pound them, then put in your meals when you're going to eat, and then have fine calcium that way. But you realize that one capsule, if you need to get the equivalent of these eggshells, you need to eat more for you to get the equivalent of what the body needs.
Right.
So you come to realize you need to get more eggshells to create that capacity. But remember, there is a capsule which you're going to take one. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, that's one of the reasons that has brought to our food not being able to provide. Then secondly, for you to eat a balanced diet, to equivalently feed every single day on the meals you want will be very hard. Why? Because of the tasty of people. You're not going to feed a particular meal for a long period of time. You need to eat this, you need to eat that, you need to eat the other.
A variety.
Variety. So it will be very hard for you to concentrate on the same meal, which will give a very important supplementation in your body for that period of time.
Right.
So what happens? You need to it becomes very easy now for someone to supplement. You understand that, okay, I don't have calcium, but I'll have my meals. Upon my meals, that's why it is supplementation. So you cannot just wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to just eat these capsules for this period of time. No, you're going to eat your food, but again, supplement on what you've fed. That's when people come to me, I always tell them, what do you eat every single day? Then we see the amount of supplementation they need in their health. Then we add the equivalent of
the supplement that is needed.
But of course, this is a very wide topic to talk about, because people come with different deficiencies when they come to the clinic. Someone will appear with a deficiency in his skin. Then we need to understand which kind of vitamins does this skin need. Then you know, okay, what is your desire? I want a glowing skin, like your skin now, it's a very good looking. Someone will come now, I want a skin that looks with this like this. So we need to know, what does this skin lack? Which vitamin does it lack? That doesn't need any collagen. Do you understand?
Yes.
Then we go and supplement exactly with what that person needs. Someone will come and their issue is with the eyes. No, my eyes have this issue, but I've been doing this. Do you know, what does the eye nerve need? What does the cornea, what does the retina need? Then we sit down and I know this is what they need for their retina or for their eye to perform like this. Someone will come and they have issues with fertility. Someone will come and tell you, doctor, I've tried all these other things for my fertility, I've really failed. So you sit down and understand, okay, do this test and this and this. What do we need that someone needs for fertility? Then you provide exactly what that person needs. Someone will come and their digestive system has issues. They have ulcers, they have gastritis, they have constipation which is recurrent, they have had hemorrhoids, a lot of things people are having. And then they'll come to you and tell you, doctor, I want you to do something organic that will help me on this condition. Then you need to sit down and understand what does this person really need. So we are talking about a variety of anions and cations and atoms and then organic stuff in this. So it's not something very small like people think. That's why I want to now officialize and sit somewhere to help people, because it's not something just, I need to just supplement. No, it's not just coming to supplement. That's why many people ask me, what, you're charging a lot of money? No, because it is not just something you think it's going to just happen, because I need to know what you exactly need. And then some supplements are not yet available in the way we need them. So you realize I have to look for a combination which may have what you need. For example, there are people that have come to me and what they need is not in Uganda. We need to ship in exactly what they need because other people have it. Then I'll tell you, no, what you need now. Hey, doctor, how comes what you were telling me to tell has to be shipped in? Because it's not here and it's what you need.
It's interesting you're going that direction, because I wanted to ask you when you can introduce supplements and that is vis-a-vis you going to hospital. How does someone tell that this problem here, it is not a hospital problem?
It's not pathological, it is just supplementation.
It needs supplementation. When do we introduce supplements.
You need to go to a health worker who is exposed to knowledge, like people who have diverse knowledge and given their time to treating people. There are people that go to work to prescribe and people go home. Whatever it is, not even finished. Next, go and take this. Then there are people who have taken their time to treat people. You've taken your time to treat people. So you're not just a doctor who went to medical school and studied, but you are a person who's going to treat people. And this is where medicine is going. Because I've told you, these other medications have failed people, and people know they no longer trust them. For example, UTIs, people are tired of UTIs. They are treating using antibiotics there and then they have used, and they are tired. So they come to you and say, I'm tired. It's as if I'm going to stay with my UTI forever. And you tell them, no, let's sit down and investigate. What is the issue? Is it hormonal? Where is the problem? And you, okay, what should we do? Okay, is it vaginal? Is it a pH? What is it? What can we do for that? And just find this person will just send you a few things and they'll tell you, doctor, I'm okay, and never needed antibiotics. So we need to advance and become biomechanists than being just doctors. A biochemist is someone who will look at a condition, study it, and treat using every available information for them. But what we are finding today is people are just treating people using the science. You're just using the to prescribe and people go. Now, diseases have become terrible and very resistant. They are very dangerous to treat now. They are also wise. They are transforming every single day.
Yes.
So if you're not a biochemist who will sit down and think, what if it is this bacteria I'm dealing with? It has failed to respond to all antibiotics I've given it. What else? Not to give up. Oh, you go stay with this. No, I need to think more. There has to be a solution. What do I do? So we have to treat people more as scientists than just being medical doctors. Then you can help people.
Now, Dr. Kamanda, the other thing that when it comes to Uganda, we have a lot of self-medication. You find that we are people of over the counter. It's very easy for us. I have a headache. As a rule of thumb, I know that a headache goes with Panadol. In no minute, I'll be okay. Now, don't you think that we are going to be seeing more of that when it comes to the food supplements as well? That as long as someone says, okay, I know cranberry helps with
Grapeseed extract works, which will work
they
for
help
me.
down there. So whenever they're having issues, they'll just go for that. And even better still, are there supplements that someone does not have to check with the doctor? They can just get onto them even without the doctor's advice.
Now, before, the supplement business came in form of network marketing. And the people who first addressed the network marketing business were unlearned people.
You're so right.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Because that's how I also got exposed to supplements and how important they are. Because the first people to benefit from this were the Tianxis, the JNLDs, the Habomed, the Habo, what? They were unlearned people. But when the white people were bringing, actually the Chinese were bringing this thing on market, we did not know the importance of these supplements. In fact, some people are just biased about them, because the first people that were selling the supplements were local people. They could just get there, someone tell you this, that's this, and this, buy. People bought, and that's why they are still even buying them, because they worked for them. So it wasn't professionalized then. In fact, you couldn't find even these supplements in pharmacies. So in the first place, when network marketing brought this kind of supplementation and business, it was about making money. But the supplements were important for people. They have their two spots, which was organic, and they don't have a lot of effects. They had their marker, they had their immune boosters, and people were taking them. Now, it's after a while, around 20 years after this business is introduced, that now people begin to buy interest in the business. And then we also realize there's a lot of money in the what? In the business. And people now began to adopt. Now, health workers, a few who are smart, like me, have now begun to address and respect that, hey, these people who have been saying these things now need to just be helped. And in the future, as you have said, it will be very hard for someone to buy a supplement from someone anyhow, because they'll need someone who know exactly what they are doing. But those days, someone will just tell you, this one does this and this, you buy. They're not even sure of the dosaging and the what. And people could just take them and be well. So that's where the problem comes from. But in the future, people have come to realize that, no, I cannot just buy a supplement from anyone. I need someone who has knowledge. Because sometimes the supplements alone may not help There will be something else pharmaceutical which may be added,
That you
which the other
need.
person may not need. So we treat every person the way they come. There is no specific way of treating any disease. It lies in the hands of a scientist handling the condition, or a doctor. But I will call them a scientist because today you cannot treat people and they become well only in knowledge of medicine you studied in school. Medicine has also failed people. You must be a scientist to treat anyone. Today people come with different conditions. There are people that come to me and ask them to rest. And I know it is stress factor. There are stress hormones in their body. That's why they have infertility issues. That's where they have erectile dysfunction issues. That's why they have hormonal issues. I tell them, get a leave over a month. Someone goes home, they rest, they come back, I'm okay, I never took anything. Because you need to be a scientist now than just being a person who is prescribing medicine and people take home. And we shall help our people. That's why I told you, it is possible for someone to make it to 100 years if you're inquisitive and know. Yes, and I've stopped people from taking meat for some reasons. You know, when a cow is being transported from where it comes from to Kampala, it's being stressed. When it is stressed, it produces some hormones, and the muscle, now the muscles of this animal is more introduced into hormones which you may not need. One, we're having combustion, you have lactic acid in there because the animal is being stressed. So when you eat, you're going to eat a lot of lactic acid. So it needs to be rested. Animal must be killed and rested so the muscle does not contain this. Those are the things people don't know. That's why I always tell people you need to detoxify in and out. Every particular period of time, take a detoxifier. Those who have known to know that the world is running like this, the beans we are eating in the restaurants are being cooked by an acid being added for them to boil very fast. You need to detoxify. Then we got to know. So supplements came in from people. The first people that sold them were not land people. They were actually looking for money.
But now, as you go on, you're seeing more people coming to the people who
pharmacists
have
now have these
knowledge.
supplements and they are teaching people how to use them.
Right.
Yes, they are using the approach of we are making money, but it is helping people that now someone will know, hey, I will take this way, I will take this one in this manner, which is very important. So we are professionalizing it.
Speaking of that, okay.
But for side effects, a supplement which is organic will not have any side effects on any man. Will not have any side effects. But a few that I've seen bringing side effects are those which they call organic, but they have added an inorganic part to the organic to create a synergism of the two. So you realize that one will give side effects for a person. But if someone is taking gonadamol in capsules, there will be no side effects for this man because they're like just taking any other mushroom. If someone is taking a coffee, which as maybe is saying, you don't expect any side effects to happen to this person. Why? This thing is organic. So if you can't get any problem for you eating matoke every day or eating a bunch of matoke. People will be getting diseases because they are addicted to some kind of foods.
Actually, you tapped a little bit on what I wanted to ask, because Ronald had just mentioned a little bit that he realizes that some of the supplements people have to go careful on were potassium, calcium, things that yes.
Now we're having the organic supplements and the inorganic supplements, which are in cations, ions, which are very important in the body. For example, for the gym people, they are what we call post-workouts, and the post-workouts, these are choline, these are potassiums, these are sodiums that are given to the people to restore back the functionality of the muscle after people work out. So I had a client who comes in, he's a bodybuilder and has had his headache for a long period of time and doesn't know why he's having a headache. So when he sits in my room, I told him, what do you use? Tell me he's using creatine and other supplements. And I happen to tell him, you need to do a test for me to find out whether these compounds are within, and we find they are reduced, and ask me how it happens. And I tell him, no, it is just because when you go to the gym, after your gym actions, you're going to find that your muscles have been contracting and for a long period of time. So they have been using the potassium and the sodium because there's what we call a potassium-sodium pump, which is very important for exchange of and formation of energy from across the cell membranes of the muscle. So you need to go for a pre-workout. Everyone needs it. So you just go to the gym and go home and rest. You need a pre-workout. So it's when he finds out that the headache, he cannot sleep, he has muscle aches and this and it's because of potassium. But still again, if someone goes on to take him these potassium, when they don't need them and they have a couple of them, they're going to overweight the kidneys where they have to be regulated. So it has to be in minimal regulation. That is for those.
That is why you need your doctor. I have to cut my brother short because when he starts, he cannot stop. Thank you so much. We want you to send in your questions. Let us know so that we can have him here with the questions you have regarding food supplements. Anything you may have, whether it's a belief or not, just send us on all our social media platforms or on my personal at BS Bironji and at his Dr. Kavanda Matia Baguvier, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that is how you get him across the board, TikTok, YouTube, all the way, and he'll be able to answer. We can have him back to clarify a few things. We leave it at that. Have a blessed day, and God loves you.